Okay, so you're trying to keep up with AI news, right? They move so fast.
It really does. Almost impossible to track everything.
Exactly. So what we're doing here is cutting through that noise.
Yeah.
We've looked at the key developments from the last few days.
All sorts of sources, tech news, research blogs, financial updates.
Yep. And the mission is simple. Give you the crucial stuff, the interesting bits, save you time, keep you ahead.
And what really jumps out from this latest batch is how everything's moving forward together. It's not just, bigger models.
And more foundational things, too.
Right. Things like security, understanding the models, the actual infrastructure, it's all maturing.
Okay, let's dive right in then. First up, funding. Good fire. They just pulled in $50 million, Series A.
That's significant. Menlo Ventures led it, but you've got Lightspeed, Anthropic, B Capital involved too.
And their mission statement is interesting. Decode the neurons of AI models. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, it's about interpretability,
Yeah.
understanding why an AI makes the decision it does, peeking inside the black box, so to speak.
Which is becoming more and more important, I guess.
Absolutely critical.
Yeah.
If you want to trust AI, especially for important tasks, you need to understand how it works. It's about safety, reliability, and ultimately better design. This funding shows it's a major focus now.
Makes sense. Okay, next topic. Security. Businesses are using generative AI more.
And that comes with risks.
Right. So Cato Networks, they've introduced new security controls for their CASB.
Yes, Cato CAS. They've added specific tools for generative AI, things like a shadow AI dashboard.
Shadow AI. So seeing the AI tools employees are using, even the unofficial ones.
Exactly. Getting visibility is the first step. Plus, they have a policy engine to actually control and govern the use of these Gen AI tools within the company.
That sounds pretty crucial for companies trying to manage this.
It is. You can't just let everyone use everything without any oversight. Data leakage, compliance issues. It's a real headache otherwise. This is about putting guardrails in place.
Which ties into the next point, actually. An EPAM study looked at why AI adoption in business is sometimes slow.
Yes, the bottlenecks. What did they find?
Two big ones mentioned are modernizing outdated technology and implementing responsible AI governance. Sounds familiar.
Oh, absolutely. That resonates completely. You have companies trying to run complex AI on systems that just weren't built for it. That's a huge hurdle.
The tech debt issue.
Precisely. And then the governance piece, defining ethical rules, managing bias, ensuring privacy, accountability. It's complex, but you can't skip it. These are major roadblocks to really scaling AI effectively.
Okay, let's shift to the hardware side. Big news with NVIDIA. CoreWeave launched NVIDIA GB200 Grace Blackwell systems.
At scale, yeah, and they've got big names signing up already. IBM, Mistral AI, Cohere.
These are described as rack-scale systems. What does that imply? Power.
Serious power. Think massive compute density packed into racks specifically designed for training and running the most demanding AI models. CoreWeave making these accessible is a big deal for companies wanting that top-tier capability.
And NVIDIA themselves made a broader announcement too, right?
Yeah.
About manufacturing AI supercomputers in the U.S.
Yes, aiming to produce, $500 billion in AI infrastructure over 4 years. Huge ambition.
And using TSMC facilities in Arizona for the Blackwell compute engines.
That's right. It connects back. These Blackwell chips power the AI factories, and CoreWeave is one of the first providing access to systems built with them. It's about getting that cutting-edge power into more hands.
With all this power, security keeps coming up. Tenable won an award.
Yeah, the 2025 Cybersecurity Excellence Awards, specifically in the AI security category, for their vulnerability management platform.
Which uses AI itself, right?
Exactly. It uses machine learning and analytics to proactively find and assess vulnerabilities. It shows how AI isn't just the thing being secured, it's also becoming a tool for security.
Interesting. Then on the practical tools front, Spacelift launched Saturn Head AI.
Right, the AI assistant for DevOps. The idea is to cut down troubleshooting time.
Oh, by analyzing logs.
Essentially, yeah. Turning those massive, complex infrastructure logs into actionable insights. Instead of a DevOps person wading through lines and lines of text, the AI points them towards the likely problem.
That could save a lot of time and headaches.
Potentially, yes. Streamlining those technical workflows is a really practical application for AI.
AI is also moving into physical spaces. Locus Robotics deployed their system at Boulanger in France.
Yes, LocusZone. It's an AI-powered robotic system for warehouses. Boulanger is a big electronics retailer, so this is a significant deployment.
Moving from manual operations to robots.
Right. It signals that shift towards scalable robotic automation in logistics, handling volume, efficiency, maybe labor shortages too. It's becoming more mainstream.
Okay, now for something completely different, talking to dolphins.
Ha! Well, analyzing their communication, yes. Google unveiled Dolphin Gemma AI.
In partnership with Georgia Tech and the Wild Dolphin Project.
Correct. The Wild Dolphin Project is key here. They've been collecting dolphin vocalization data since like 1985, a huge data set.
And dolphins use clicks, whistles, burst pulses, complex stuff.
Very complex. Scientists have been trying to decode it for decades. Now Google's applying their Gemma architecture about 400 million parameters, specifically for audio in, audio out.
And they use something called sound stream tokenization.
Yeah, that's basically a way to break down the complex dolphin sounds into smaller units the AI can process and learn patterns from. Think of it like breaking sentences into words or letters for text AI.
So Dolphin Gemma can analyze these sounds and even predict upcoming ones.
That's the goal. They're even field testing it using Google Pixel phones. The long-term aim is maybe even creating a shared vocabulary.
Wow. And there's a parallel system, Chatty, for two-way communication with synthetic whistles.
Yes, that's part of the broader effort. And Google plans to open source Dolphin Gemma next summer.
Meaning others could adapt it for whales or other animals.
Potentially, yes. It's a fascinating use of AI for interspecies communication research. Really pushes the boundaries.
Sticking with Google, but back to more conventional AI, VO2, their AI video generator.
Right, they're starting to roll it out on AI Studio just in the US for now. It's seen as their answer to OpenAI's Sora.
So text to video, sketch to video,
That kind of thing. Generates short clips. Early days, though, access is limited.
and there are limitations, right? Resolution, length.
Yeah, currently 720p clips are only 8 seconds long, and it costs about 35 cents per second to generate.
So not quite ready for Hollywood blockbusters yet.
Not yet. But the expectation is it'll improve and get integrated into Gemini and become more widely available. It shows video generation is a key battleground.
But these powerful tools aren't perfect. There was that incident with Cursor's AI chatbot.
Ah, yes. The code editing company. Their AI customer service bot apparently just made up a company policy?
Yeah, which led to some user backlash, understandably.
It's a perfect, if unfortunate, example of AI hallucinations. They can just generate plausible-sounding nonsense that isn't true.
Which highlights the risk, especially in customer-facing roles.
Definitely. Reliability is still a major challenge. You need checks, human oversight, and ongoing work to reduce these hallucinations.
Speaking of interacting with AI, there's talk about new ways to prompt the latest models, like Gemini 2.5, GPT 4.1, Claude 3.7.
Yeah, the prompting techniques are evolving. Apparently, it's getting easier in some ways, but understanding how to structure prompts, the limits, that's still important.
So it's not just throwing any question at it anymore.
Well, you can, but for best results, knowing how to guide the AI, use specific formats, maybe negative prompts, it helps. There are guides and things popping up about this.
Interesting. Now, a more geopolitical angle. Concerns raised by U.S. officials about the DeepSeek AI app.
Yes, reports suggesting claims it's designed to spy on Americans, and also some questioning of NVIDIA's ties to DeepSeek.
So AI crossing into national security concerns.
It seems inevitable. As AI gets more powerful and integrated, questions about data, privacy, potential misuse by state actors, they become much more prominent. It's a space to watch.
On the technical side again, Microsoft released the new model BitNet B1.582B4T. What's special about this one?
It's their largest one-bit LLM. The key thing is efficiency. It uses minimal energy and memory.
Meaning it could run on older, less powerful hardware?
That's the potential, yes. Democratizing access, running powerful AI without needing massive GPUs.
But there are caveats.
Currently, yes. It's on Hugging Face, but needs a proprietary framework and apparently doesn't run on GPUs right now. So it's promising, but still needs development to be widely usable. Still, one-bit models are an important direction for efficiency.
Makes sense. And related to business strategy, an article emphasized having a unified AI approach.
Right, Tech Republic, I think. The point being that a coordinated strategy across a business, rather than siloed projects, reduces complexity and boosts efficiency. It avoids reinventing the wheel.
Sounds logical. What about OpenAI, new models, o3 and o4-mini?
Yes, and the interesting angle is they can apparently think with images. Multimodal reasoning.
Available now for some users.
Plus pro and team users initially. Enterprise and education access coming soon. It represents that move towards models that understand and reason across different data types, not just text.
And AI's impact is being felt in physical infrastructure, too. Data Center World 2025.
Yeah, big discussions there about how AI is changing everything for data centers, especially power and cooling needs. The demand is just skyrocketing.
We need new ways to build and run these facilities.
Absolutely. The infrastructure has to evolve rapidly to keep up.
Let's talk practical uses. The AI Daily Brief podcast highlighted some top AI agent use cases that are working now.
Okay, what did they list?
Customer service automation, coding assistants, sales agents, voice-enabled workflows, and deep research.
That sounds about right. Those are areas where AI agents are already providing real value, automating tasks, assisting humans. Not science fiction, but practical tools being deployed.
But there's always the flip side. A Guardian article asked if AI tools like ChatGPT are harming human intelligence.
Ah, the cognitive offloading debate. Are we getting lazy because the AI can do the thinking?
Yeah, they even referenced an old 1941 exam to make a point about changing skills.
It's a valid question. How do we use these tools to augment our intelligence, not just replace critical thinking? It's an ongoing societal discussion.
And related to potential harm, reputational risk.
Yes, a global survey found misuse of AI is seen as one of the biggest threats to brand reputation.
Alongside association with Elon Musk.
Apparently so, according to that survey. But the AI misuse point is serious. A company's reputation can be damaged quickly by biased outputs, privacy breaches, or poorly implemented AI.
AI is even getting into sports psychology, profiling players.
Yeah, reports of analysts using AI to profile elite players, looking at things like emotional control, leadership potential. Brighton in the Premier League was mentioned as an example.
Using AI to assess personality traits from data.
Seems like it. Another novel application, though potentially controversial.
Speaking of controversy, AI-generated images in politics. Italy.
Yes, the opposition filed a complaint against the far-right League Party for using what they called racist AI-generated images on social media.
Definitely highlights the potential for misuse in political campaigns.
It's a very easy way to create provocative or misleading content at scale. Regulation and platform policies are struggling to keep up.
And then there's Mechanize, a startup with a pretty bold mission.
Launched by a well-known AI researcher, right? Their goal is apparently to replace all human workers.
That's the reported mission. Highly controversial, obviously.
To say the least, raises all sorts of ethical and societal questions right off the bat.
Back to OpenAI's new models, o3 and o4-mini. A TechCrunch report suggests they hallucinate more than older models.
Yeah, that's a surprising finding, and apparently OpenAI doesn't quite know why yet.
So newer isn't always better, or at least not more reliable in this case.
It seems so. It shows that progress isn't always linear, and there can be trade-offs, perhaps in the pursuit of different capabilities like reasoning. They'll need to figure that out.
Meanwhile, ChatGPT itself just keeps growing. Another TechCrunch piece noted 300 million weekly active users.
Incredible growth since its launch in late 2022. It's become ubiquitous incredibly quickly.
And it's evolving. There were reports of ChatGPT using users' names unprompted.
Yes, some people found that a bit creepy. It learns from conversations, but maybe that crossed a line for some users' comfort levels.
And speaking of learning, they've upgraded its memory feature, Memory with Search.
Right. So it can now use details from your past conversations to inform its web search queries when you ask it to look something up, making the search results more personalized and context-aware.
Interesting. Netflix is also looking at AI for search.
Yeah, planning to revamp their search using AI. Mention an interactive search based on generative technologies.
Trying to make discovering shows easier.
That's the goal. Moving beyond simple keyword matching to understand intent better, maybe have a more conversational search experience.
Lots happening in search and information retrieval. Together, AI released something too.
Open Deep Research. It's an open source tool for doing structured multi-step web queries to answer complex questions.
So, more sophisticated automated research.
Kind of like an AI research assistant that can break down a big question, search multiple sources, synthesize information. Making it open source is a nice touch.
Okay, a couple more quick ones. AI in blockchain gambling.
Hacker Noon article on that. Using AI to personalize gameplay, improve security, maybe promote responsible gambling on those platforms.
Integrating AI into that ecosystem.
Yep. And finally, back to government concerns. House Democrats worried about the Department of Energy.
Yeah, 48 of them expressed concern about the DOE potentially feeding sensitive data into Elon Musk's Grok AI, maybe for cost cutting.
Yeah.
citing security risks.
It highlights that tension, again, the potential benefits of using AI versus the security and privacy implications, especially with government data and private companies.
Right. A lot to digest there.
Definitely.
So wrapping up this deep dive, a few themes really stand out. Just the sheer speed of advancement, right, from dolphins to video generation.
Absolutely. And alongside that, this growing focus on the nuts and bolts, the security, the infrastructure, the interpretability, making it work reliably and responsibly.
And we're seeing AI seep into almost every sector, bringing opportunities, but also these real challenges and ethical questions.
From warehouses to political campaigns to how we even search for information.
So hopefully this rundown gives everyone a good snapshot of where things stand right now, a shortcut through the noise.
Staying informed is definitely key in this field.
Absolutely. So maybe the question to leave people with is, how do we personally navigate this? What skills do we need, not just to use these tools, but to think critically about their impact?
That's a good one. Something to definitely keep pondering.
Okay, that's our AI news briefing for today. We'll be back with more insights into this constantly changing world.